Okay. Hello, friends of Love for Volleyball, Amor por el Voleibol. I have today the great honor and pleasure to introduce you to Valentina Diouf, Italian player, national team member, gold medalist in under 21 tournaments and Mediterranean games, and with an extensive career in clubs around the world, who is kindly with me today talking about his volleyball life. Hello, Valentina. How are you?
Hello, Alfredo. Thank you for having me. I'm very good.
Fantastic. Many thanks again. And first of all, I want to start this conversation asking you why, when, and where did you start playing volleyball?
Actually, long time ago, because I was only 6 years old, and it was actually the first thing where being so different was cool. So actually, that's why I started. I was imagining my career in completely different field, but here I am in volleyball.
And when you start to play, did you have somebody in that you, for example, inspired you? Because, for example, here in Chile, we look over the mountains and we saw the Brazilian players, the Argentinian players. Did you have somebody in mind, or it was only your story when you started playing?
Well, actually, not really, because I was never able to find somebody that looked like me, that was similar to me and to my characteristics. So actually, was literally the first thing where being so different was cool, and they were like all the time saying like, oh my God, you are so tall, so it's perfect that you play volleyball. And it was literally the first thing, because after that, the normal life is like, oh my God, you are so tall. Like it's completely different.
Yeah. Yes. Today we can see many players of your height. You are 2 meters high, but maybe some time ago it was very, very strange to see, especially a woman so tall. I remember, for example, some Russian players, or
Yes.
it was not too much players. And did this advantage, for example, was it important for you when you start playing at school, maybe, or in your youth teams?
Well, actually, it was hard to learn how to play volleyball because of the problems of coordinations of the body. Because at the beginning, I was growing really quick. So it happened also that I was growing 6 centimeters in 1 month. And it means that your body is changing completely. It's like literally having a new body. So it was tough to be able to coordinate myself and play in effective way one sport so hard like is volleyball, that is technique 100%. So it was tough, but at the end, of course, it was also an advantage to be tall like this. But after all of this hard process.
I know. And for example, did you never thought about playing, for example, basketball, who's another sport where tall players are very, very well received?
I come from one country where basketball is not like women basketball is not so like the first choice of kids, but like volleyball, they were cartoons about it. They were much better in propaganda. Is that the fact? For sure, if I was born in the United States, probably my choice would be different.
It's true. And how was your career when you started playing? For example, in Chile, volleyball is a non-professional game. But did you realize that maybe your career or your future would be in volleyball, or it was year by year when you were growing and started to play better? How was your history in your beginning?
So I started to understand that I could transform volleyball in my job when I was 14, because when I was 14 I moved from home and I went to play for Club Italia. That is a project where all of the, for sure but all of the young players that they are like valuable, they are selected, so they have possibility to grow. And I moved to Rome and I lived there 3 years, and in the same moment I started to play in the youth national team, and I started to actually achieve and to get better and better in volleyball. And after these 3 years, I signed immediately for Fopa Pedretti. That at that time it was like the best club probably in Europe. So actually, it was a path that brought me there.
Yeah, I hear you, and for me, it's always very amazing to hear people who choose volleyball or sport for his life, because as I told you, here in Chile we didn't have this. It would be a dream for many players, but for me it's very interesting to know how people choose sport for a life. I think it's amazing. I envy you because I think it's fantastic. And tell me, Valentina, and how was it for you then become a national player, to be able to play against the best teams in the world and show your capabilities of a great Italian player? How was it for you personally, for your family? Please tell me about this history.
Yeah, it was for sure like I was really proud and I was taking it really seriously. I remember like when I received my first uniform with like my name and the Italian flag. It was really big emotion because, you know, when I start to do something in general in my life, like it's my attitude to do like 100%. And the fact that I was able to achieve to wear the national team jersey, it means that I was on the right way. I was doing the right things to achieve. So it was tough, but I got a lot of satisfaction also. I have to be honest. Also, I'm the person that is trying to watch like the glass half full and not half empty.
Fantastic. I understand you absolutely. And until now, I know sometimes as players you play a good championship. Maybe you win the championship, you win gold, for example, but you didn't feel well as a player. Do you have some championship that you remember most as for you? A completely integral winning sensation? Do you have some championship do you remember especially?
So I remember when I went abroad for the first year, and because you know, like from the inside, the Italian league and the Italian mentality is very close. So there are not so many players that they go to play abroad, and if they play maximum 1 year or
Yes.
so on, and after they come back immediately because the mentality is really not open. But I'm completely outsider, so I play 7 years abroad, and
Yes.
I love that. I came back now this season just to close my career, but when the first year that I played in Brazil, I won the Paulista Cup, and it was incredible. I have to be honest, because it was my kind of revenge of a lot of situations that I didn't like that happened in my country, and I felt it really mine. I felt it really involved in that victory. And in the same way, when I was playing in Poland and we won the league, the same. Like I really felt that I was into it, even though on my career I was in starting 6 player, but there are some victories that I felt more mine, probably because they were connected to some private stuff.
It's interesting what you're saying, because I'm thinking you're right, absolutely right. We didn't see much Italian players playing outside Italy, because maybe Italy is the goal for every player to play in the Italian league. I think maybe I want to ask you, because from this side of the world we see much alike or similar. For example, the Italian crowd, the tifosi, I don't know how to say it, and in Brazil, the crowd, they're absolutely crazy. I remember, for example, a Russian player who told me that they didn't understand the craziness of the people in Brazil for volleyball, and the stadium full with people shouting, dancing, singing. But you tell me that it's different as Italy. Your experience in Brazil, what do you think it's a little different from Italy?
I mean, you know what I learned playing abroad in the many countries, that all of the countries, they have a lot of similarities in
Mhm.
how they behave, in general people behave, not depending on the culture, but for example the supporters, they, yes, in Brazil they are really warm, and they are really into
Mhm.
the game and the life of the players. They are supporting like the individual player, not just the team.
Okay.
In Italy is similar, but of course, I think when you cross this bond, there are also a lot of haters and everything
Mhm.
that they,
Yeah.
um, because we are crossing one border, you know, and at the end, we are this job, like sport in general. A lot of people don't understand, but is part of entertainment field.
It's a
So
sport. It's a sport. Absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you don't know personally the player, you don't know what she had to pass through to arrive there, and you don't know like how much effort you need to put to arrive there and entertain you supporter. So I still believe that respect should be the base of everything, and this is the should be the base to create like the healthiest relationship between supporters and players.
Yes, yes. I also remember a Brazilian player who plays in Italy, and he finished his career playing in the B League. I don't know, the second league, in a
Yeah.
small town in Italy. And he told me what you're saying. The people love when they were winning, but when they lose, it becomes a strange situation of hate. It was really difficult for these Brazilian players who played there. It was very difficult to simulate. And you played also in Brazil. You played also in Poland. You played also in Korea. How was this experience to play so far away from the world? Especially, I think I want to ask you your experience about to play in the Asian volleyball.
I loved it. Like it was actually my target to go to the antipodes of the
Yes.
world and to discover like how it can be volleyball, but also the life. Because you know, like when you spend full season, it's not just like going to vacation. You are living there. You are working there. So you are actually one of them. And I love that because, of course, they are completely different from
Yes.
what we think. That I don't know how we are managing the life and how they are managing the life, the social rules, and then it's completely different. But I actually fit much more there than here because I'm
Hmm.
very like. I don't know, like for me, respect is everything. So, and for them, it's the same. And
Mhm.
also, they have this way to face the difficult situations, like smiling and not like showing to everybody the tough moments and like spread negative energies, but actually they are trying to, I don't want to say hide, but face them with another attitude. And this actually helped me a lot to find my way of how which Valentina I wanted to be in
Yes.
the future. So yeah, I really love that
Mm.
experience. And in terms of volleyball, is I really like because you know I'm 2 meters and I faced leagues where they treat you like that you have kind of um, I don't want, it's too strong word, disability,
Yeah.
but that you are not good in defense, or
Mhm.
you know, and you will never be able to achieve some decent level. But there they just teach you,
Wow.
and this I love that. And this allow me to feel much more confident in myself, because it's for full life you just hear, no, you are too tall, you cannot do this, you know, you cannot do this. No, I can do this. I just have to find another way to do this, but I definitely can do this, and you just have to teach me how, because this is your job.
It's very, very interesting what you're saying. Maybe for people who see the volleyball players on the court, they didn't know how much effort maybe sometimes suffering or pain you have backstage, and that's why I'm very interesting to speak with people like you, and maybe more about the sport things that we know we see today every day, but the personal, the human things, I think is so important, especially in professional players who make his life and on the courts around the world. And I think I read an interview of you, and you said maybe the difference between some volleyball. For example, you said Italy is more strategic, Brazil is more passion-hearted, and Korea, as you said, it's more respectful, the game between the rivals. I don't know, between your team. And how was it later in Poland? Because Poland, as I know, the men volleyball was highlighted. The won the many world championship, but women we see recently many great teams. The national team of Poland and the clubs league. It's very tough today. How was your experience to play in Poland with a so traditional history of volleyball?
Yes, I really enjoyed. I played 2 years and a half, because I arrived in the middle of the season, and after I spent there 2 more seasons, and I actually really enjoyed. I found in Italy, at least, but now I'm curious to. I will ask one question to you, and I'm curious to ask you, like, how you see the country of Poland, for example, in Chile, but in Italy we see Poland like that's stuck in this after-war mood, and but it's completely different.
Yeah.
They are super advanced, and allow me to say that they are much more advanced than Italy in most of the things.
Mm-hmm.
So actually the life there, it's really easy, and the quality of life it's really high. So this, as a human being, as a volleyball player, I found really competitive league actually, and also I was playing in one top team, so we were playing Champions League. So I played all the years that I was there, Champions League, and we actually achieved, because we won against Fenerbahce and everything. So we reached quarterfinals and everything. So if you consider that the budget is not even comparable to the strongest team that nowadays are leading the Europe, I think it's really good achievement and really good level. They are doing really good job.
Yeah, I also interviewed some Polish players, and the sensation, and the wrong sensation that we have. I agree with you. We think it's a post-war country, but it's totally the opposite. In Chile, for example, we see via Netflix some TV shows from Poland, and you see and you watch a very modern town, country with technology, sport, and even they have some similar Spanish words. It's very strange. And for example, Peter Nowakowski, I interviewed with him, he told me that, for example, volleyball is more popular than soccer today, than calcio, because volleyball is more successful than football, than calcio. And maybe that's one of the reasons that the crowd is so, or the sport of volleyball is so popular in Poland. And did you, for example, have some memories or some special things of Poland in your heart and your history?
Well, actually, I'm getting married soon with a Polish guy.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Fantastic.
My spicy connection with Poland. Yes, I'm getting married with a Polish guy, and I even found a love in Poland. So how can I not have great memories from there?
Fantastic. Super. And Valentina, I wanted to ask you now. Because maybe it's a strange question for you. You're from Italy, you're from Europe, but from this far south part of the south of the world, we see and maybe don't understand why Italy is so successful in volleyball. We see the the women and men in all categories are winning most of the most important championships of the world. I have also interviewed many players from Italy, but I didn't understand why it's so successful, volleyball or sport, maybe in your country.
Well, that's a really good question. I think we should extend because it's not only volleyball. Because if you see, we are achieving a lot in many sports, and we have really big culture of sports and coaches and system of preparation. I also don't know because we are so small, and I don't understand how it's possible that we are able to achieve that much. So one thing that I say also in some previous interviews is that we are a country that is studying a lot of the tactic of. So we are studying a lot, like our opponents and everything. We are creating probably a system that is working really good, and we are able to underline the good qualities of some players and try, for example, to hide some not called disadvantages. But so I think it's about this basically, because we are not the strongest. I'm talking about historically.
Yeah.
We are not like maybe the strongest in body conditions, because like if you see like Brazilians, for example, they are we say in Italy they are eating on our head because they are so like powerful in physical way. But we had, I believe, to find a way to compete with something else.
Yes.
And probably this was huge contributor to build the strongest of this country in the sports in general, not only in volleyball.
Absolutely. And I wanted to ask you now, Valentina, I know you're playing, you're still a fantastic athlete, but do you have some plans after you will retire from volleyball? Because many times professional players they didn't know what to do after you play volleyball, because you have so many years playing, have a system, has a routine of being a professional athlete. Do you have some ideas, projects? I remember also I interviewed a Serbian player who told me that many years before to stop his career, he started to study, for example, marketing, because he wanted to make some projects with sport and his experience, Olympic experience, and make some things that he's actually doing. Do you have some ideas, or maybe not?
Actually, when I turned 25, that also was the same year that I moved abroad, I had kind of crisis, because I was like, okay, I cannot play volleyball forever, so like what's next? I cannot arrive at like, I don't know, 30 something and like have no idea even of what I like.
Yeah.
You know, so I started to do some research and try to find a new path for me. And yeah, I'm actually finishing my studies. I started university in order to finish in the same moment of the end of my career, and I'm also doing public speaking a lot, and I really like to do coaching in companies, and this I actually really like. And also beside this stuff, it's more than 10 years that I'm working with a foundation that is helping to take kids from difficult situations, so literally from the street, and giving like a better future through the sport. So yeah, actually I'm pretty busy, and I can't wait to start my new life, because it's 27 years that I play volleyball. So
so much, so many years.
Yeah, and I'm 32, so
I know. Valentina, I wish you so much success in your projects, and I want to thank you again for your time, for your motivation, your joy to speak with me. For me, it's a big honor, as I told you before. I want to thank you from Chile, from the far south of the world. My best wishes to you for your marriage, for all your projects. So I thank you again. I thank you my best wishes, and so happy to meet you.
Thank you very much. I was so happy with this connection.
Fantastic. Okay, I stopped the recording. I will send you, as I always do, a graphic of the interview that I will announce. And feel free to say, I don't like this photo, please use this other photo. As I told you before, I want that you feel comfortable and happy about the things I do, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye and best wishes for you.
Have a nice day.
Ciao.
Ciao.